Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Lane. It's time for another Love After Lockup recap. This is Love During Lockup, Season 5, Episode 54, Ditch the Chicks. So let's get started with our first couple. And it's actually not a couple, it's a throuple of sorts, a love triangle. So we have Kate, Hunter, and Kaylee. So if you remember, Kate is the trash bag that set Hunter up on prison pen pal websites so that he could scam desperate women for money. Kaylee is one of the desperate women that Hunter has been scamming. Or I don't know if he's scamming her because it's up in the air. The whole issue that they're having here is that Hunter can't decide between Kate and Kaylee. Kate has decided on this episode that she's ready for Hunter to break off all the relationships that he has established via this pen pal website to get money from these women. Hunter, on the other hand, says, Kate, you set me up on this website. These women are giving me money. You're not giving me any money. I'm basically not going to stop talking to them. And he says, F you, and that's just it. So you think from there, okay, well, maybe this is him breaking it off with her. Fast forward to the next day, Hunter actually apologizes to Kate and says, yes, I'm going to do what you said, and I'm going to go ahead and break these relationships off. So he then talks to Kaylee and says, I have some bad news for you. And they cut it off there. So you're thinking that Hunter is about to break up with Kaylee. But the next scene where they say Kaylee is 10 miles away from Kate, which is actually pretty messy because what that means is that these people are probably passing each other in the grocery store. They're passing each other in the street. They're in the same neighborhood. They sound like they're walking distance away from each other. But anyway, Kaylee has already bought her engagement ring and she's been shopping for wedding dresses. She's ready for Hunter to come home and spend time with her. So they go to the conversation that Hunter is having with Kaylee, where he tells her that he has some bad news. The bad news is that Hunter is going to be in prison for 30 to 60 more days because of the sexy time, his words, that he had with Kaylee, where Kaylee explained that she showed her breast and made a porno. And so this is why he's gotten in trouble, which why would you do this? I don't even understand. You know that they're watching these phone calls. You know that he can get in trouble for this. Why would you all think this was okay? But this is what they did, and this is the consequences of it. And even though these are the consequences, and they knew what the consequences would be, and they knew that they would get in trouble for this, Kaylee is very upset, and she, goes off to cry about it because he's not going to be coming home as quickly as she thought that he was. But if you two hot, wouldn't have been doing all of this stuff on the prison phone, y'all would be okay. But maybe Hunter wanted to be in prison for longer because that gives him more time to be able to decide between the two of these ladies. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that, I don't know, I want him to be with Kaylee. I don't think he's a good person, so I don't wish that he's with Kaylee, but I really don't want it to end well for Kate, just because I don't like the person that she is. She smiles and tries to seem like she's really nice and innocent, but she's a trash bag. She's a vile trash bag for doing what she's doing. They're both vile humans for scamming people. But you, even worse, Kate. I mean, it's just trash. You're a woman. Why would you do that to someone else? I don't know how this is going to end up, but I hope it doesn't end well for any of them. I don't want Kaylee with Hunter because I don't think they'd make a good couple, because I think she seems to be a nice person, just a little bit desperate. That's her only issue. Kate, though, I don't wish anything good for you. Let's go on to the next couple. Next, we have Sam and Crystal. So just to get a visual of Sam and Crystal here. Here we go. So this is Sam and Crystal. And actually, I have a better picture because this looks like an older picture of Crystal. So she doesn't even look the same. Looks like she's maybe gained a little bit of weight in prison. Let me give a better picture of her. I don't want to say better. I want to say more recent picture. So this is more recent. This is what she looks like now. This is what he looks like. I don't think he's changed very much. But so if you remember, Sam has moved from, I forgot where he moved from, but he's in Texas now and he's working as the EMT. He has been helping to take care of Rita, Crystal's grandmother. They are married. They've not consummated their marriage yet. So there's some trust issues there because they feel like they haven't had that physical connection yet. But Crystal really uses Sam as her personal ATM and errand boy. So he works, up to 60 hours a week overtime, trying to make enough money to send to her so that she can binge watch TV programs while he also slaves away being a caretaker for Rita, buying her groceries, taking care of him. It's just a lot that she has him doing. And he is feeling like he's not being fulfilled on his side of the relationship. He's putting out and he's sacrificing a lot, but he's not getting anything in return. So he's talking to his friend about this, but he's also preparing for a visit to see Crystal. Before he goes to visit Crystal, because I think the plan was initially he was going to bring Rita, the grandmother, with him to visit Crystal, but Rita's not feeling well, so she can't go. But he's been calling Rita and she hasn't answered. And so he lets Crystal know this. And she's really upset because she's lost her mom and she's in prison. She can't do anything. And she just really wants to make sure that Rita is okay. She doesn't really care about seeing him. What she wants to know is that her grandmother's okay. And I can totally understand that because, first of all, Sam, know your job and know your place. You knew what this woman was about. You know what she's doing to you. You know she's using you, and you're just allowing yourself to be used. Rita is her grandmother, and she needs you to take care of her grandmother. You guys can be together forever. Go make sure this woman's grandmother is okay is all you need to do. And that's what her top priority is. It's not you, Sam. It is her grandmother, and you need to realize that and see that for what it is. So fast forward through, they finally find out that Rita is okay. Rita does not want to go on the visit with them, but she's fine, and Crystal's fine. So they go on to have their visit. She does complain a little bit about Sam in this episode where she talks about certain things that he's lied to her about. One of them being he was supposed to get a parole lawyer for her because her parole is coming up. And it's weird because he did get the parole lawyer, but he didn't get the parole lawyer in time or within the time that she thought that he was going to do it. He communicated that he had gotten the lawyer and he had not yet gotten it. So she says that he's a liar and she sees that and she's keep making note of it. And that's what's causing her to have some trust issues with him. The fact that, he is a liar. He's having issues with her because he feels like he's being used. So it's a couple and it's a scenario that we've seen previously where, the guy's going all out and gotten a new job and giving her all of his money. It's somebody that he met on the Prison Pen Pal website. Y'all remember those, the couple we had last season where they were doing the exact same thing. So this is the same old story, different couple. Let's go on to our next couple, who is Savannah and Bradley. So Savannah did go to visit the doctor to see about her BBL, and she is really on this BBL kick. She is ready to get her body done. She says that she had weight loss surgery and she has some excess skin and some things that she wanted to get done. I think she had done her body where she got rid of the excess skin, but now she's concerned with the shape. So she wants to get some shaping done. To the tune of $20,000 is what the plastic surgeon says that it's going to cost. She thinks that Bradley is going to pay for this surgery. However, Bradley in his confessionals is saying he's absolutely not. How does she expect him to even have the money to pay for this? But Savannah's a little bit spoiled, so I can kind of see why she thinks that Bradley would pay for the body surgery. I can see her family taking care of that, though. She keeps pushing it off and saying, oh, Bradley's going to do it. Bradley's going to do it. But her mom went with her to the consult. So I think that her family's probably going to end up paying for that for her. But she keeps asking Bradley about it. On this episode, though, it's centered around her relationship with Bradley's sister. So Bradley's sister, I think her name's Alyssa, and Savannah were friends before. So there is a relationship between the two of them outside of the relationship with Bradley. Now, they've been butting heads because they say that Alyssa's a little bit crazy. And there was a physical altercation. So Savannah and Alyssa got into a fight. I don't think that Savannah won that fight, but I don't really know. They didn't tell us. I wish they would have, because I was kind of looking at the two of them sizing them up. And Bradley's sister looks like a little Spitfire. So I'm thinking she probably would have had the best of Savannah, but I don't know. But they wanted to work things out. Savannah's been setting boundaries between her and Alyssa's relationship because of the fight, right? She feels like Savannah is, not the best friend for her. So she wants to talk to Savannah and let her know, hey, this is why I've kind of pushed away from you a little bit so that we can have a relationship. But again, there's going to be boundaries in that relationship. So they decide to meet up at a furniture store or a consignment store. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was just a place for them to go. It was weird because they kind of walked around with nothing in sight. And the only purpose they had in the consignment shop was to have a conversation. So they have the conversation and Alyssa goes off. She says to Savannah that she has been there for her through, her addiction issues and her other problems. She's the only one that's been there for her. And she can't understand why Savannah is, pushing her away or doesn't want to be there. And she says some things to Savannah that is really nasty. And it's kind of telling because I talked about this last time. I think when I went out to Reddit and I saw that they were talking about Savannah and Alyssa's relationship before, and they mentioned that Bradley's family, which is Alyssa's family because they're siblings, doesn't care for Savannah at all. They don't like her. They don't want her around. They're not inviting her to any gatherings. They are not accepting Savannah into the family. But she also says that Bradley has plans on dumping Savannah as soon as he gets out, that he's actually using Savannah for her money and that he's going to dump her when he gets out of prison, which to me, Alyssa, shows a lot about your character because Savannah's supposed to be your friend. And if you hadn't told her this before, you're a real nasty piece of work. You see that Savannah likes this guy and wants to be with him. You know that he's using her. You'd nudge her a little bit like, hey, my brother's in prison and he's probably not really good for you if she's really your friend. Maybe she's not. Maybe she was just using Savannah as well. I don't know the dynamics of their relationship other than what I saw in that consignment shop. And they were yelling and cursing each other out. So the only thing I got from that is that this is not going to be one happy family at the end of the day. And actually, and what Alyssa says to me sounds like it's probably true because Bradley, the vibe that I'm getting from him is that he's actually using Savannah and he doesn't want to be with her. Anytime there's a confessional and Savannah has said something, he's like, I don't know why she's talking about this wedding. I have no plans on getting married as soon as I get out. She talks about the BBL and he's going to pay for it. His confessional. I don't know why she thinks I'm going to pay for this BBL. Where am I getting the money from? There's like a 3% chance that I'm going to actually pay for this. So it doesn't even feel like he likes her. I don't know. It's an odd couple. We'll see where it goes, but I think that this one's going to crash and burn. So let's go on to our last couple because we only had 4 couples this time, but we did get an introduction to a new couple. And they are MJ and Willie. So where's my MJ and Willie picture? Here we go. So here's MJ and Willie. So MJ is 37 and she is a wholesale real estate investor. And Willie is 36 and he's in prison for possession with intent to distribute meth and possession of a firearm. Willie has 4 weeks until his release. And so MJ is actually, prepping for his release now. Both of them have been married previously. They've known each other since I believe MJ said she was 21 years old. They were both previously married. MJ was married for 13 years with no kids. Willie was married for 9 years. And I think he has 2 boys. I think that's what they said. He has 2 boys, but I'll have to go back and just clarify that. I'm almost positive I saw him with 2 kids. So I thought that's what they said. So anyway, Willie has 2 boys. I think she doesn't have any children. They started dating a year and some months ago. So it hasn't been that long. MJ is a recovering alcoholic. She said that she had started drinking when she was 13. She loves the taste of alcohol. She's downing bottles. And, she's been in recovery or sober for 5 years now. Willie was also a previous drug addict, but they didn't talk too much about the drugs that he was addicted to. MJ is having a conversation where she's running with her cousin, and the cousin is talking to MJ about her relationship with Willie, of course, because that's what the show's about. And it's weird because the cousin is asking questions, but she's really asking questions where she's pushing the envelope with MJ. She's asking questions like, have you been faithful to Willie? Do you really love him? Have you seen your ex? And that's fine because a lot of times people will ask these questions, to have the conversation started so that we can see what's going on or get some like background information on the relationship, right? So that we know everything that's happened to bring us to this point. But the way that she was asking it, she would ask the question multiple times. Like the first time she asked, well, have you been with your ex again? And MJ says no. And she goes on to say something else. And then she'd ask the question again. Yeah, but have you been with your ex? It's almost as if she knows something and she wants MJ to tell her, yes, that she has been, but she's waiting for her to tell, right? So like when someone asks a question and they'll say, they'll just ask the same question over and over again or ask it in a different way because they know that you're lying. That's kind of the impression I got from MJ's conversation with her cousin. Like she knows that MJ has cheated or done something. Willie then calls from prison and he's he was a little bit like he kept asking her, well, where were you? Why weren't you answering the calls? So initially, I got the impression that yes, he was jealous, as most of the people in prison are, because they're not there to see what's going on. So they kind of have this thing where you don't answer the call and they get very upset. We've seen that with other couples, but with this one, what I didn't realize is that there was infidelity in the past, and MJ actually slept with her ex and had a pregnancy scare while Willie was in prison. And so she told Willie about this when after it was over with, and he was really upset that she had cheated on him, of course. But that's where the feelings of jealousy were coming from with him, because she had cheated before. So I kind of understood where he was coming from when he said these things. Comes across as a little bit needy, but that's okay. Um, After she asked those questions multiple times, it really feels like the cousin doesn't believe anything that she's saying. So I just kind of left it at that. It's weird because MJ is a family, or her background is Tongan, is what she says that she is, which is a small island. It looks like it's off the coast of Australia. And she has 36 siblings. Like, wow. It's like, as small as that island is, it looks like MJ's dad is like populating the whole island. 36 siblings. Like, that's a lot of people. That's a whole, like, more than what's in your school classroom, right? Like, remembering those names, when somebody has their back turned to you, I'm sure you're just like, "Hey, blue shirt." Like, I don't know, but 36 siblings is a lot. So, MJ on this episode is actually celebrating her birthday, so she goes out with some of her family members, and it was a crazy birthday celebration, let me say that. And it wasn't crazy because they were wild and out of control, but let me paint the picture for you. MJ is a recovering alcoholic. She says she's been, started drinking when she was 13. She's drinking bottles at a time. So everybody has to know that this woman had a drinking problem. She says that she's had a DUI, at least a DUI. She may have said she had more than one. Don't quote me. She has had at least a DUI. And so because of this, and she knows that she has this problem with drinking, she decided, okay, she had to stop drinking and get sober. And that's what she did. But at this birthday celebration, everybody there is drinking, which is fine. They can drink. But then they ask MJ, "Oh, are you going to have one?" And MJ says, "No, I'm sober. I had that problem with the DUI." And they're like, "Oh, you party pooper." Excuse me, this woman is a recovering alcoholic. What friends sit at a table with you and call you a party pooper because you don't want to drink? But wait, they take it even one step further. They don't just call her a party pooper and call her out for not drinking. They literally push a drink over to her and they're like, "Take this shot." And MJ's like, "No, I don't want it." And the woman tries to like put it to her face, like put it to her mouth to make her drink. I've never seen something so crazy. And all of them are sitting there like, "That's okay." Oh, it's like, it almost seemed like it was an episode of What Would You Do? Where you see people there and the person is constantly saying, like, "I'm sober, I'm sober." And everybody at the table offers them drinks. And, you're wondering, is anybody else around here seeing this? Is somebody going to say, "Hey, y'all need to stop this"? It was really, really odd. Like, I'd never seen anything like that. Like, I didn't know, like, there's people out there doing this. You have somebody in recovery and you want to force them to drink. I mean, I just, MJ, with friends and family like that, I don't think you need enemies. Like, these people are not looking out for your best interest. I don't know. I really, I wonder what they have to say about it after the fact. Like, did you see yourselves? Is this something that's normal? Like, is this some sort of inside joke that your family has? It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Um, I don't know. The jury's out for me with this couple. I'm really not sure what I really think of them just yet. I need to get a little bit more information on them before I pass judgment. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens next episode. They gave us a little preview of what's supposed to be happening in the upcoming episodes, and it looks to be a whole bunch of mess and drama and people admitting to, some cheating, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. So I look forward to this whole season, and I look forward to sharing it with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.